morning, and welcome to this week's edition of Marquette in Motion. We're your hosts, Hallie Kilberg
and Miranda Peters. On today's show, we'll be informing you on the Marquette Dance Clinic,
giving you all the details on the upcoming Marquette Christmas concerts,
answering more advice-related questions, and you ask, we answer,
giving you, as always, all the sports and updates,
and interviewing Marquette's school counselor, Ms. Julie Schmidt.
But before we dive into all that, we'd like to discuss the thespian season coming up. Speech.
Speech is like putting on a play, but with no props. At the longest, it's a one act.
Students can act out many scenarios in creative ways, from singing or reading a poem to acting out a scene.
And in some cases, such as improv, students don't know what they're performing until they're actually in front of the judges.
In this case, they get 3 choices as to random scenarios that they can act out. And usually improvs are very comical and enjoyable.
With all the speech performances, students are judged with the number 1 through 5, with 1 being the best on their performance.
Performances for this year will include improv, the Great Cross Country Race,
2 + 2 = China, The Mouse and the Raven, and Seeing the Thing.
I can say that students already have been working very hard to prepare for speech and the upcoming season, with the first contest being held in the middle of January.
However, they're not the only ones working hard. Right now, the Marquette dance team is training the next generation of dancers. Here to tell us about this is Katherine Heimbuck.
Today, Marquette's dance team is hosting its annual K-5 dance clinic from 8 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. in the MEC. Mrs. Jessica Meeninger, Marquette's dance coach, coordinated the event, and the Marquette dance team choreographed the routine that the interested dancers are learning today. The dance clinic is set up so that elementary dancers are in small groups with a dance team member as their leader. Each dance team member is teaching their respective small group the dance moves. The whole group then gets together to polish the routine. This year, the dance is a mashup of patriotic songs, and at the conclusion of today's clinic, all dance participants will be receiving a matching t-shirt with the theme. These dancers will perform their newly learned routine this Monday night at the JV and Varsity Boys games, which start at 6:15 p.m. in the MEC. The game is against Platteville, so please come on down and cheer on our guys and support the students that are dancing. As a dancer myself, I can say the dance team is very excited for the clinic and is ready to teach the kids and help them perform. It sure is great to see our students in motion. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Katherine Heimbuck. Stay tuned. More Marquette in Motion on the way.
Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Here now is Justina Denlinger to tell us about the Marquette Christmas concerts.
Our first Christmas concert of the season will be on Tuesday night, December 13th. At the concert on Tuesday, the 3- and 4-year-old preschool students will be singing various Christmas carols with actions. Here's a little preview of the 3-year-old preschoolers singing Away in a Manger. Thanks, 3-year-old preschool class. In addition to hearing the preschoolers at Tuesday evening's concert, the kindergarten and first grade students will be recreating the nativity scene while on stage, and also will be singing familiar carols, even singing some in sign language. Grades 2 through 5 will be recounting their own version of Jesus' birth while acting as newspaper reporters, rap kings, shepherds, innkeepers, and adorable sheep. A special guest appearance will be made by the Holy Family. On Wednesday, December 14th, Junior High will be featuring a grand processional from all the students in grades 6th, 7th, and 8th, followed by performances of the 6th grade choir, 7th, 8th grade men's choir, and finally the 8th grade women's choir. High school will then conclude the evening with songs from around the world, featuring sacred choral pieces with African, Celtic, and American influences, and they will be singing in both Swahili and English. Remember to mark your calendars for the concerts. The elementary concert is Tuesday, December 13th at 6:30 in the MEC, and the middle school and high school concert is Wednesday, December 14th in the St. Joseph Church. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Justina Denlinger.
Thanks, Justina. Now here are the wise men, Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig. And you ask, we answer. Are you ready, guys?
We're ready.
Yep. All right, the first question reads, I'm trying to work on my skills in basketball, but I don't know where to start. What part of the game do you think I should focus on the most?
Mainly focus on dribbling skills and ball handling and getting sharp passes to your teammates. Not everybody needs to be a scorer, so that doesn't necessarily need to be one of the first things they need to work on, which most people think it is.
Okay, thanks for that advice, Jonathan. And the second question is basketball related too. So I'm planning on doing track this spring, and I want to start training for the season. However, I'm in basketball, and with so many practices and games, I don't want to wear myself out with the run beforehand, and I don't know if I can run after either. Should I wait to run until basketball slows down, or risk tiring myself out?
Well, I guess you kind of just have to play it by each situation, and you know your legs and your body the best. Depending on what time your practices are, you can run in the morning, although it will be colder in the morning this winter season. So I think if you are trying to get better for track and run during basketball, I think that you'll be able to tell what your body needs and what your body doesn't need, and be able to go from there.
And lastly, I'm in middle school and I want a phone. How do I convince my parents to get me one?
Ooh. Well, if you are in middle school and you're involved in quite a lot of sports and extracurricular activities, then that might be a good reason for you to get a phone. But if you simply want a phone for just for reasons other than that, for other than contacting your parents, then I would say that you should go along with your parents' decisions because they know what's best for you.
All right, well, thanks once again for all the good advice, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more Marquette in Motion after the break. Welcome back to Marquette in Motion. Back with some more reporting are Sam Peters and Jonathan Herrig, this time with all the Marquette sports and updates.
Thanks, Hallie. This has been a long and exciting week for Marquette's basketball players. Last Friday, Marquette took on Midland in the MEC. Girls varsity had a good game and were able to beat Midland's girls in a tough game. The varsity boys had a halftime score, losing 19-9, and in the third quarter, the game did not look too promising. But in the fourth quarter, Marquette gained some momentum and were able to tie up the game just before the buzzer. The game then went into overtime where Marquette boys beat Midland 48-42. On Monday night, Marquette played Durant, also at home. Girls varsity won their great game with a score of 47-34, and the boys also left with another win over Durant with a score of 66-56, certainly with the help of junior Blaine Banwitz, who managed to score a total of 30 points with a combination of threes and free throws. Marquette played against Cedar Valley Christian as well on Tuesday night. The varsity girls and boys both had strong win, with the girls winning 62-25 and the boys winning 58-35. Also, Marquette traveled to play against the teams of Maquoketa Valley, but we will have those results here for you next week. And come out to support Marquette basketball as the varsity teams play tonight against town rival Bellevue Public, with the varsity girls starting at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, John, for that excellent basketball commentary. Come out to the MEC and get a taste for the Christmas season at Marquette's Christmas concerts. The preschool through 5th grade concert will be held on December 13th at 6:30 in the MEC, and the 6th through 12th grade concert will be held on December 14th at 6:30 in the St. Joseph's Church. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Sam Peters
And Jonathan Herrig
with your Marquette Sports and Updates report.
Thanks for the report, guys. Up next are Kelsey Gerlach and Brooklyn Moore interviewing the Marquette school counselor, Ms. Julie Schmidt.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brooklyn Moore,
And I'm Kelsey Gerlach.
and today we'll be interviewing Miss Schmidt.
So, Ms. Schmidt, for those who don't know, what is your position here at Marquette and in the church?
I am the K-12 school counselor at Marquette, as well as the junior high softball coach, as well as I help in the athletic department. And at the church, I'm the youth minister for the high school students.
You mentioned you were a school counselor. How long have you been a school counselor at Marquette?
This is my 6th year, I think, back at Marquette as school counselor. So I work, most of my day is spent one-on-one with students, whether it's high school students planning or teaching life skills to the elementary school or working with middle schoolers in that adolescent transition.
So I know you're in charge of IO assessments, so would you mind telling our audience what the IO assessments are for and about?
IO assessments is a new term. It used to be called ITBS or ITEDs, and now they're called the IO assessments. They're used for our staff here as well as reporting to the state how we are doing with our curriculum and how our students are successful, as well as pointing out some areas of need that maybe we need to hit on a little better.
Sounds like your plate's full. So, speaking of plates being full, you just had a conference this past week. Where was the conference at?
My conference was the National Youth Ministers Conference in San Jose, California.
So why did you go?
I attended this year with the Archdiocese of Dubuque. There were about 10 youth ministers as well as my boss that attended. And this year I was asked to take part in the Archdiocesan presentation on NCYC, how we use it in our parish, and how it influences our students.
So you mentioned NCYC. Would you mind telling our listeners a brief summary of it?
NCYC is a National Catholic Youth Conference, and it happens every other year. We happen to have a large number of students at Marquette that attend. Now, that specific position is through the church, so as the youth minister, I kind of head that up here in our local parishes. Last year, we had 65 students attend, and right now our numbers are running at about the same, with 61 that will attend in 2017.
Why should students go to NCYC?
NCYC is an experience that allows the students to see the larger picture of being Catholic. Getting to attend Mass with 23,000 other teenagers kind of gives you that universal feel that it's more than just you, it's more than just our town, it's more than just our church. It's the whole, and there are students represented of all 50 states at NCYC.
What's the best advice you could give to a student about life?
Pray. When life is stressful, pray about it. When you're not sure what your future has, pray about it. I often talk to my seniors and juniors when it comes to the college and career planning process. And one of my questions is, have you brought this in prayer? Have you had time to sit over in church? Have you attended adoration? Just to sit and reflect and to pray about it. And so lucky we're at a Catholic school that can be part of our process in developing who we are as people as well as our future.
Well, thank you for letting us interview you, Ms. Schmidt. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Brooklyn Moore
And Kelsey Gerlach.
with Tell Us More.
Thanks for reporting, everyone.
And thank you for tuning in. For Marquette in Motion, this has been Miranda Peters.
And Hallie Kilberg. And remember, stay informed, stay involved, stay
In motion.